Hello, good day, everyone. So, today we'll be discussing Chapter 19, continuation of their employee benefits. So, Chapter 19 is all about short term employee benefits. The other chapters before, such as 17 and 18, are considered as long term employee benefits. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Um, so here, you have here short-term employee benefits. So what do we meant by short-term employee benefits? These are actually other than, okay? Take note, there's other than termination benefits, which are expected to be settled wholly within 12 months after the end of the annual reporting period. So it means now these employee benefits will be settled within 12 months after the reporting period. So that means next year. Masettle siya next year. What are examples of short-term employee benefits? These are your salaries, wages, and social security contributions. Short-term compensated or paid absences. This includes already your annual leave and sick leave. Profit sharing and bonus. You have this one. So bonus, that's in computing your bonus, it's just the same when you compute for bonus to partners. So pinag-ana lang. Then non-monetary benefits such as medical care, housing, car, and free or subsidized. So how do we recognize and measure short-term employee benefits? So these are um, recognized straightforward because automatic straightforward. There's no actuarial as a gain or losses here because we don't have actuarial assumptions. So here, there's no need for us to discount future benefits because it will be paid not later than 12 months after the end of the current reporting period. Um, you have here unpaid short-term employee benefits at the end of the accounting period. So such will be recognized as accrued expenses. So any unpaid short-term employee benefits will be recognized as accrued expenses. However, if it's paid in advance, it shall be recognized as a prepayment to the extent that it will lead to a reduction in future payments or a cash flow. The cost of short-term benefits shall be recognized as expense in the period when the economic benefit is given. So, if naghatag ko bonus karon, so that will be considered as an employee benefit expense or bonus expense. The appropriate term is bonus expense. Short-term compensated or paid absences. So, these are your paid leaves. This includes your sick leaves also. You just take note that this short-term compensated can either be vesting or non-vesting. So what's the difference between vesting and non-vesting? Employees are entitled to a cash payment for the unused entitlement. So if there are unused entitlement in the previous year or previous years pa, so mag-accumulate na and you will be entitled for that to be paid. Okay? However, for non-vesting, you are not entitled to a cash payment for any unused entitlement. So meaning, the opposite lang of cash entitlement. So non-accumulating paid absences are those that are not carried forward in future periods, such as benefit lapse if the current period entitlement is not used, and then sorry, and do not entitle the employees to a cash payment for unused entitlement on leaving the. By the way, vesting and non-vesting, it refers to unused entitlement on leaving the entity. You have your example. There's one example. So vesting and non-vesting. Here you have a company. So you have problem 19-1. Camel Company reported that employees are each entitled to 2 weeks of paid vacation leave. During the current year, the employees earned 1,500 weeks of vacation leave and used 1,000 weeks. The current salary of employees is an average of 3,000 per week, and the salary is expected to increase by 300 per week or a future weekly salary of 3,300. What will be your journal entries if it's accumulating and vesting? If it's accumulating and vesting, first is you use the recorded na use na vacation leave. So definitely naka-use ng pag 1,000. So then for debit, vacation pay expense, 3 million. So that's 1,000 times 3, 1,000 weeks times 3,000 pesos. The credit cash, for the accrual, considering that this is accumulating and vesting, so dapat mag-accrue ka for the remaining 10 years next year. So here, we'll have vacation pay expense, 500. So here, 500 na lang the billing out of the 1,500 times 3,300. You refer it to the expected salary. So that's 3,300. Total will be 1,650. 1,650,000, and credit accrued vacation pay 1,650,000. So therefore, if the question now, um, if the question of the problem would ask you, how much is the accrued vacation pay? Answer in this given problem should be 1,650,000, provided that the question refers to accumulating and vesting. Now, what if it's non-accumulating and non-vesting? Still, you are to record the expense because the use vacation leave. So debit vacation pay expense, 3 million. Credit cash, 3 million. Now, do we have a journal entry for the remaining 500 weeks? Answer is no. So there's no accrual for this one. Should be off accrual. So there's no accrual because again it is non-accumulating and non-vesting. Okay, so profit sharing. So profit sharing and bonus. So here, uh, definitely there are employees that will receive a share of the profit if they remain with the entity. So such plans create a constructive obligation. So there's already a constructive obligation as employees to render services that increases the amount to be paid. Okay, sorry. So definitely, if there are plans, there are plans for a profit sharing and bonus plans, there will be a constructive obligation. So the measurement of such constructive obligation reflects the possibility, okay, so the possibility that some employees may leave without receiving profit sharing payments. So then, um, based on possibilities. Okay. So example will be problem 19-2. You have here Julia Company, so profit sharing. Julia Company is a profit sharing bonus plan, which requires an entity to pay employees 8% of income for the year. The entity reported income of 50 million for 2022. The bonus payment is to be made December 31, 2023. So if we are to prepare 8% of income, so we just have 8% times 50 million, so that's 4 million. Bonus expense 4 million, then credit bonus payable 4 million. Um, to record the payment, so you just have bonus payable 4 million, credit cash 4 million. As simple as that. Now, what if there is a maximum? Okay, maximum. You have just to know the estimated liability. So, for example, this one, maximum possible bonus is 10%, and you deduct the turnover katong possible na dili maka possible na dili makakuha sa bonus. So, for example, this one, 5% of the total employees kay dili sila makakuha. So, 5% of 5 million, you have 250,000. So, more na yung money. Deduct it to the maximum possible bonus, and this will be your estimated liability. And this will be your bonus payable or bonus expense. So what are other long-term employee benefits? Um, Residual definition. So other long-term employee benefits are all employee benefits other than, wait, so take note, other than short-term, post-employment, and termination. So these are not expected to be settled wholly within 12 months after the end of the annual reporting period. What are examples? We have this one. These are some of the examples. And how do we recognize? We record and measure it as a liability, uh, and has the same recognition and measurement of sorry, defined benefit obligation. So here, if the liability recognized is equal or excess of the present value of the liability over the fair value of the plan asset at the end of the reporting period. So there's a liability recognized. But if it's the other way around, so that's a prepayment. So for other long-term benefits, all of the following components of defined benefit costs are recognized in profit or loss. and included in the computation of the employee benefit expense. So first, you have current service cost, past service cost, any gains or loss on settlement, net interest, and remeasurements. So termination benefits are basically benefits received by employees in exchange for their termination. So it could either be as a result of an entity's decision to retire such employee or employee's decision to accept an offer of benefit in exchange for the termination of employment. So take note, your termination benefit does not include employee benefits, so resulting from termination of employment at the request of the employer as a result of the mandatory retirement, because these are post-employment benefits. What are your fundamental principles in relation to termination benefits? First, it's not conditional on future services being provided. Second, short-term period between offer of termination and actual termination. So how do I recognize termination benefits? So you recognize it as an expense and a liability at the earlier of the following date. So take note of the dates. Okay? So either you debit expense, credit liability, and earlier of the following dates. Somewhat earlier. When the entity can no longer withdraw the offer, and when the entity recognizes the cost of restructuring. So there's a cost of restructuring. Implicit in the recognition criteria is that there needs to be an offer of termination that binds the entity in some way. And the offer of termination is an action or activity deemed to give rise to the termination liability. Are termination costs included in your restructuring plan? Answer is depends. If the termination costs that are part of the restructuring plan are recognized at the same time as the recognition of the other restructuring costs, so that's okay. Sama niya, may tabo. Okay? Okay. Let's move on to the next problem. So sick leave. Can you read the problem? Okay. Question here is compute the accrued liability for sick leave on December 31, 2022 for the three key employees. You have A, B, C. Unused sick leave as of January 1, 2022, so you have 1064. Sick leave taken in 2022 from previous year. You have here 7. Kidney should be 6. So next year na din makuha. 7, 8, 9. Next year, 6. This one is also 6, 6, 4. Sorry, 4. Because 4 lang nabigay sa ang paid leave. So that's why you have here unused leave. So that's why you have here 10, 6, and 4. Now, sick leave taken in 2022 from previous year. So, since 501 ta, unahon sa nato ang previous year before karon. So, since naman tayo sick leave delay na 3, nakuangan, so, ato na siya i-deduct. No. Okay, sige. So, 0 So the remaining three is here. Okay. Okay. Then for C, you have 0 kay 4 lang. 4 naman ang makaya ni 6. The remainder, which is 6, will be deducted sa curve. So all in all, we should have 10, 7, 8. But take note, sige, tabo dire, wage increase effective, so we have 20, 25, and 30. 20, 25, and 30. So here, we have 1, 5, 2, 5, and 4,000. And multiply it by 100% plus the interest rate, and that will give you 1.8, 3125, 52. So let us now compute your total liability. Daily wage for specifically for unused leave, you have 1.8, 3125, so times 7, that's 21,875, and 5,200, so that's 41,600, or a total of 81,475. So answer for this problem is this one, 81,475. So that's how easy other term, other short-term benefits. Okay. Thank you, class, for listening.